It's recording.
So, wait, what are we doing?
Introduction.
Okay. Wait, I'm applying for freshman and tower. Okay.
I think
Go, I'm recording.
Oh, wait.
What's your name?
No,
Just start over.
She's supposed to, like,
Do you
say
want
what
to
it
say?
is.
Yeah, you can, like, say it.
Like,
Okay, just
read the first question
yourself.
and then go on from that. Yeah.
It's okay.
Get from the most natural one, you know?
Okay, so just give an introduction, first and last name, and then what position you're applying for.
Okay, my name is Eduardo Munoz, and I'm applying for freshman RA as well as Towers RA.
My name is Jolee Zhao, and you can call me Jolee. I'm applying for RA for Towers, freshman dorm, and dresser.
Hi, I'm Daniella Norena. I'm applying for RA for freshman housing or towers.
Hi, I'm David Hong. I'm applying for the freshman housing and also Lovernick.
Hi, my name is Alexander Fu, and I'm applying for RA freshman housing.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so the first question we have is, as a group, choose 4 strengths, which would be listed later, that would make up the perfect RA or SLA candidate. Discuss as a group to explain why. The first strength is achiever. People who are especially talented in the achiever theme have a great deal of stamina and work hard. They take great satisfaction from being busy and productive. The second is an activator. People who are especially talented in the activator theme.
Achiever activator?
Yes. People who are especially talented in the activator theme can make things happen by turning thoughts into actions. They are often impatient. The third one is adaptability. People who are especially talented in this theme prefer to go with the flow. They tend to be the now people who take things as they come and discover the future one day at a time. The fourth one is empathy. People who are especially talented in this theme can sense the feeling of other people by imagining themselves in other lives or other situations. Ideation. People who are especially talented in this are fascinated by ideas. They are able to find connections between seemingly disparate phenomena. Responsibility. They take psychological ownership of what they say they will do. They are committed to stable values such as honesty and loyalty. Strategic. They are able to create alternative ways to proceed. Faced with any given scenario, they can quickly spot the relevant patterns and issues. Woo. They are talented with loving the challenge of meeting new people and winning them over. They derive satisfaction from breaking the ice and making a connection with another person. And that is your...
That's it?
Yes.
So we gotta choose 4.
Alright, we got 8 in total, so half of them?
Yeah.
What can we take out first?
Yeah,
Let's take that
eliminate
idea.
the ones that
Let's
we
take
don't.
that idea.
Really? I think
No,
that's important because, like, I mean, from being an RA, like, you kind of have to have some kind of idea. Like, we're planning events and like,
I mean, I feel like as freshmen, it depends what RA you're applying for, but there's a lot of events that are already going on, and it's kind of up to you to kind of like be able to identify with new incoming freshmen, which is why I think empathy would be a really good one.
I think
Because like there's lots of stress going into being a freshman. You're away from home for the first time. You're in a new environment, and like as an RA, I think it's important to be able to like be emotionally there for them. You know, be able to handle it yourself and be able to like relate.
Yeah, I think empathy is one of the biggest.
Yeah,
things.
empathy.
So we can for sure choose empathy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we just like vote for
I know
top
that.
I'm
two?
thinking
I know that for
too,
sure. We can all do
I was
responsibility.
Yeah,
thinking that too.
responsibility.
Like, you really need to
Yeah.
involve it. Like, it's really
So you have to have
important.
a core set of values and follow
And I think
those.
responsibility can really balance out some of the other ones that aren't like as certain, like
Yeah.
responsibility and woo, responsibility and active, achievers.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
I feel like adaptability would be an important one too, because if you were to become an RA, you would need to face a lot of different situations.
Every day, you know, things come up. And, like,
Every
sometimes
person.
Every freshman,
yeah,
Sure.
all
Yeah.
different.
I
Like, you
think
have
different
different
backgrounds,
Yeah.
different
Emergency.
Yeah.
adaptability.
Do you think empathy can like replace woo?
I think adaptability can replace woo. Because the way I see it, if you're able to adapt to people,
Yeah.
then you don't really need
In
woo.
situations,
Like,
yeah.
woo is important for sure, but like you need to go deeper than just woo.
And just like
Woo is just like with making that initial connection.
But
Yeah.
And
I
you could just
mean,
be-
woo gets you to connect with people too, because it's winning others over. if
Yeah,
you
it's
have the
pretty great.
ability of, you know, wooing, you will be able to really connect with people and, you know, help them out on a personal level.
Well, another one that woo then is also activator.
I thought I was, yeah, or...
Activator can
Isn't
also
it like
begin.
activator impatient, like when
No.
she was reading it?
Well, that's why I think activator and responsibility kind of balance each other out.
Mhm.
What do you think? What do you
Exactly,
think?
because activator gets things done and responsibility gets it done in a patient manner and a responsible manner.
Yeah, I think the definition mentioned that activators turn ideas into actual things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So being able to be responsible with like what you're juggling with and actually put that into play is also just as important as like winning people over.
And I think activator also covers ideation in that way. Because also like you're making an idea, you're not just thinking about it,
You're activating.
Exactly.
Acting upon it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas with woo, like that was actually one of my 5 gifts, and I was kind
Uh-huh.
of bummed because it was like you don't make deeper connections.
It's kind of just.
What's-
Yeah.
Woo's a great thing.
Right.
It's a great thing.
Wait, are all
the whole
of you?
point of...
So yeah, we have our
I think
four.
we
Should
all
we just
have
move
one.
on?
I don't have
We only have 15 minutes.
Say your
Sorry.
four
Yeah,
again.
that's
Say
fine.
your four again. So what would your four
our first
themes
one we
be?
chose empathy.
Mhm.
Our second one we chose
Are we in the
responsibility.
No.
Well, yeah. Third one we chose adaptability, and our fourth is activator.
All right.
So how we done
You need
there?
to find achiever. Oh, no, we're done. Damn, alright, we're good. Next question.
All right. So the next question is: as a group, discuss what you believe is the greatest need for the area you wish to serve. Discuss a way that you can meet these needs through programming.
Wait, you want to just go one by one then?
Yeah, and then we can come together as a
It's
group afterwards.
discussion though.
Or you can
Oh,
come back one and we
discussion.
can come together as a group afterwards. Yeah.
Okay.
You go ahead.
Oh, I'll go first? Okay, I think I'm applying for freshman housing, and I think one of the biggest things is, like I said before, freshmen are coming in, it's their first time away from home, it's like a new thing, a new environment, new people, and it's kind of scary. I remember my freshman year was kind of like that, and it was really great for my RA to be there for me, kind of help me connect with campus, show me around, but even on a deeper level, just get to know me and like kind of be there for me when he knew I was feeling down. And I think it's just really important to be able to like encourage freshmen to keep on going and to kind of like get them adapted to the Pepperdine lifestyle. So just being there for them emotionally and stuff.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
It seems like I'm the only SLA applicant here. But as much as I did love my SLA my freshman year, I feel like the biggest issue and the reason why there wasn't as much attendance was mainly because the small groups were so focused on like biblical passages and like just being like brought up as like a church, like a church child. So like I kind of get the feeling that like it would be a lot more cool because last semester for small groups, what we did as guys was kind of get everybody to introduce where they come from, tell them more about their family and their lives. And I feel like as a SLA, your job isn't just to kind of just choke Bible passages down people's throats, but also to like be able to be there just like as a friend as well. And I feel like small groups, it's important to connect, not always through like Christ, but also through as like just a friend.
Yeah, I think as a freshman RA, like the biggest thing really is like really helping them feel like there's someone there for them, because it's a big transition. Like most of these students haven't lived away from home their entire lives, and for a lot of them, like they had to move kind of far, and so it can be a lot of culture shock involved in that. But more than that, just helping them like experience Pepperdine, because like I remember my freshman year was it was like amazing, and it was a lot from my RA like really showed me that there's so much to the culture there and so much to like the people there that you have to continually like explore and experience and be able to go back somewhere where you know that you have someone to talk to.
For me, I want to do be an RA for freshman housing, as well as I meant to say George Page, but I said Drescher, so a correction. I think the biggest part for me is that coming from an international background, I'm an international student from China. I felt like last semester, last year, our RAs were more focused on like the domestic students. So for me, an issue I saw was a lot of international students getting left out as freshmen coming in from a completely strange country and just not even getting used to the culture. So I want to be able to be someone that really understands the cultural difference and being able to help them to adjust to a new country's life. And I don't want them to be left out as a big part of Pepperdine, because we do have a lot of international students.
For me, the RA, although adaptability plays a huge role in that, helping the freshmen adapt to the college life and such, I really think that activator would be the most important fact, because what's so much about making plans about camping or making plans about going to get Korean barbecue in downtown LA if they're not done. What my freshman RAs did last year, they took us out on various trips. We definitely camped on Zuma. We went to Not Scary Farms. We did Korean barbecue, and this brought us all as a house together, as a family, and as one. So for me, it would have to be somebody who gets things done, sets the tone, and then helps everybody adapt to the freshman life, adapt to the Pepperdine experience, while also creating a family inside of the house.
Discuss as a group.
So I think a lot of what we repeated was this idea of adjustment, transition, being there, and being accountable with the plans that you make. So I guess in a lot of ways, an RA is like a mentor.
Yeah.
Also being there just for them to support them, help them through hard times,
Yeah.
but also bring them on.
And it's somebody to make a community too, because there's also some people who come from different backgrounds and who might not adapt to the college life or to what's made amongst the cliques of the freshmen right away. So somebody who encourages group events and encourages communal stuff, so that everybody is taken in and everybody is taken account for.
Also, I think being inclusive is really important, because we don't want anyone to feel left out or not loved just because they don't feel connected in the same way.
I think it's also really important, one of the biggest jobs of an RA or SLA is to include, to make sure all the students are in the part of the Pepperdine loop. And so making sure that they know what kind of opportunities are offered through the school. Because for me, for the beginning of my first semester, a lot of it was stayed indoors. And I stayed with my friends and my suite mates. But towards second semester, that's when I realized there was so much more that was offered. And that can be through athletics, it can be through intramural, it can be through clubs and things like that. You need an RA that's supported enough to get you into the loop and kind of get you to know what's going on, so that you can really be a part of the community. And being inclusive in that sense is also a really big part of our role.
Okay, can I just add one more quick thing? I feel as you're becoming it's you're around the age of 18 and you still don't know a lot about your life. I know when you go to college, that's when your kind of true personality starts coming out. So I feel an important job as an RA or SLA is to kind of see that personal growth and development, as well as spiritual, but just to see kind of nurture it in a way, because I feel it's really important, because it's just it's part of growing up. And you go to college and so many things can happen where it affects how the person you'll be. I think the thing is the person you are in college, the person you'll be for the rest of your life almost. So I think it's just really important that an RA or SLA seeks to kind of get the best potential out of each freshman, as far as personal growth and stuff and development.
And life keeps going.
Yeah.
How many more questions do we have?
We only have one more.
We have enough time.
Yeah. Okay. So the last question is, your RD comes to you and says that they have a report of a resident who has been struggling with depression. Your RD asks you, as the RA or SLA, to reach out and connect with that resident. How would you do this if you do not have a close relationship with this resident?
Being an RA, I remember going in the first day. All the NSO people took my stuff out of my car and threw it into my room. And then the first person I greeted as I entered the freshman house was my RA. So I feel there should be a strong relationship between the RA and everybody. I think that's something that they should push for in the beginning, so that they can already have a strong relationship. But since this question asks for somebody who does not have a strong relationship with that person, the first way to approach it would be taking them aside and not asking them in a group, because sometimes they might be too shy to respond their true feelings in a group. So taking them aside and really asking them how they're doing and what their struggles are, and then working alongside with them and checking up on them every time to get that done, to get that process.
I think for me, if I'm not really close to this person, I would maybe try to get more information about him or her from the friends around this person, and then I would probably, like what Eddie said, pull this person out of the friend circle and have a one-on-one conversation with this person. And I think for me a big part is just to simply listen to what's going on in this person's life, and be sympathetic, really just to be there for him or her, and be there to show support, and not necessarily having to tell him or her what to do, what you should have done. More like just sit there with this person and just to listen.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Eddie that I would hope that there's not a student in my house that I feel like I'm not close to, because that would be unfortunate. I feel like I'd be failing them in some way. But besides that, like, I think I would probably implement a system of coffee houses, or coffee dates with my residents anyway. And so if I feel like someone is possibly suffering with depression, I'll maybe try and be like, hey, you want to go to coffee date like this week? I'd love to hang out with you. And have some time to talk to them. Now, according to our RA training we had like this last summer, you kind of have to gauge where they're at in depression. If you feel that like they've reached a point of like ideation, or like a point where it's just not that they're just sad, but it's like clinically depressed, then that's when you kind of start have to asking like real questions like, hey, like, have you considered hurting yourself? Have you considered had this issue before in your life? And I think if I'm honestly being genuine with this person, I would hope that they would respond in a genuine way as well, so we can offer them help that we have on campus. We have the counseling center. We have teachers who are caring and have dealt with it before. We have amazing resources, and so I hope we can connect them with that.
I kind of feel like even if you have an entire year, it's going to be really hard to really get to know like everybody in the house. Even living among us 40 people in the job, it's really, I can't really say that I know everybody. And there's so much that everybody's really going through, and you'll never really grasp like how much and like where they come from. So for me, I feel like my faith has gotten me through a lot of crap in my life, and knowing that Jesus is my friend and having that aspect push me is, if they're open to it, is something that I can share my faith with. And the reason why I find myself being so joyful or so carefree all the time is because I have that security of knowing that I have a God backing me up. And I feel like if that resident is open to it, then that's something that I can share my personal story with and make that connection to make sure that he feels just as appreciated and cared for in his house.
With myself, my father went through a huge stage of like depression, anxiety, so I definitely know how it feels in terms of like what would be like expected, but I feel like a really important thing is to like be there for them, but not be outright like kind of like what's wrong with you type of thing. Like it's not, I don't think it's uncommon, and I think like, you know, freshman year is like definitely a really like kind of like lonely part, and it was for me. Just even though, you know, you have like sweet mates and friends, there's still like just something about it where, you know, you're in a whole new environment and you're starting kind of like a new life. But I definitely kind of be there for the person suffering through it, and I definitely kind of like just be like, as Jolee said, be a really good listener, because a lot of times that's just what people need, and they need like, and they don't need just solutions, but they need someone who's understanding and someone who can relate. And definitely like, I think just consistency is really important. So it's not just like a one-time checkup, they seem okay and they leave, but I think it's like a daily thing. You know, you see them in the hawk and you say hi to them, and even a small thing really matters, because, you know, I know how much like just a notice in like Pepperdine can brighten your day. Because even with like the amount of freshmen we have, you know, sometimes like kids don't like, not everyone gets like a hello, you know, not everyone gets like that wave from like all the other popular kids get. So I definitely think it's like, it's really important just to be there, and even the smallest actions count, and just, you know, one day at a time, and like just be like a really loving person.
You know, definitely agreeing with Alex. Anything that makes you feel appreciated, anything that makes you feel valued, whether it be a hello or how are you, or really genuine one-on-one, is what would really help anybody in that type of situation.
I think what you hit on was the word genuine. I think you're genuine with your residents, they'll be genuine with you.
And that's like the biggest part of being an RA or SLA. It's not just, it's just as important to enforce the rules, but I feel like the biggest aspect of what made our freshman year so amazing was the fact that we had RAs to back that up. And we had RAs to like get our back when we needed it. And although not all people felt that way, I feel like it seems like we can be confident being that way.
All right. Thank you.